Alrighty. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us again for another episode of the Football Fan Zone. It's good to be back again to talk all things football. Yeah, the squad is all back together. Complete squad, full squad this week. Let me start with the returning playmaker, Uzo. Uzo, how you doing? Glad to have you back.
Yeah, glad to be back, man. Had to take a sabbatical, get some paid time off. Yeah, it does the body good. But yeah,
Yeah,
we're back. We're glad to be back. We're glad to be back for sure.
yeah. Glad to have you back as well. Yeah, some time off to go recharge your batteries. Right. Okay, let me move to Chooks. Chooks, how are you doing? How was your weekend?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. I like this.
That,
I like this. I like how you and Uzo are matching with the hairstyle. Adams, we might need to tap in.
yeah, it's always looking good,
Looking good though. Looking good.
good. Yeah,
Looking
looking
like a
good.
smart young man, making my parents proud.
Yeah, making the right decisions.
All right. The Adams, how are you doing? How was your weekend, man?
Yeah, it was great, man. It was great. So apologies for the last episode. I know we missed Uzo, but technically he wasn't missing because we couldn't get out the last episode. So it was a really good episode. Hopefully, we can get this one across.
Yeah, hopefully. Right. Okay, so let's get right into it. Yeah. So two major international football tournaments are currently ongoing. I know last week we spoke a lot about the Euros. Right now, the Copa America has also joined the fray. So two international football tournaments to talk about. But let's start off with the Euros, right? So we've entered now the third match day. Um, so match day one and match day two have been completed. We've seen everybody play. We've seen all the top teams, all the so-called dark horses, and all the so-called minnows. I must say personally, it's been an amazing tournament for me in terms of the quality of play, the number of goals scored, the number of own goals scored, the number of Lukaku VR goals cancelled. It's been a tournament full of, a lot has been happening. So let's dissect and get into it. Right. So where do we start from? The host nation, Germany, are through to the next round. In fact, they were through before they even kicked the ball in match day three. 6 points from two group games, looking convincing. Jamal Musiala, Florian Wirtz, Ilkay Gundogan, looking solid as well, with the addition of Nicolas Füllkrug as well. So yeah, they're looking like primed, to win the tournament on home soil. A lot of pundits have put them as their number one team. Uzo, let me come to you. I don't know if you've seen Germany at all in any of their games thus far. I just want to get your idea. What do you make of them? Would you put them as, or where would you rank them as your favorites for the tournament?
Yeah, I think pre-tournament, pretty much being the host nation and just the fact that, I think this might be the last tournament with Nagelsmann as the coach because, I think we all believe that he should be back in club management, soon. Um, I think they'll want to do something. Obviously it's their home turf. No one ever really wants to, disappoint the home fans. And a lot of their players are informed. They have players that have been, the cornerstone of several different teams that have achieved a lot of success this year. Guys like Wirtz completing a domestic unbeaten season and a domestic double. Of course, Rudiger going on to get, number 15 with Real Madrid. We all know Musiala had a pretty impressive individual season, even though like ultimately Bayern didn't do anything. So even a guy like Füllkrug, with Dortmund and a lot of the success that they had, a lot of German teams had a lot of success this year, and so it's not surprising that guys like him, Andrik, the guy I think he's from Bayern, I believe, I'm not sure, but these are all guys that have had pretty impressive seasons, and so it's not surprising to see that translate to the national team. And they're playing. They look like they're playing free. They look like they have a lot of excitement. This is something we haven't seen from this German side in a long time because they've. I don't know. Germany is one of those teams that you expect them to be favorites, in every tournament. But over the last 2 or 3 tournaments, I don't think we've really looked at them as like a team that can go on to win it. Like you always have a healthy amount of respect for them, but we saw the way that the World Cup went for them. That was very disappointing. The last Euros, the last Euros were so bad that England beating Germany didn't even feel like a big deal because we just didn't expect much from them. So that's obviously a stark difference to this team, and they look exciting. They look like one of the favorites. I don't think any team so far has really established themselves as like a front runner, but that's how it always is in the Euros. There's a few teams that have shown flashes, but on the whole of like consistency, I don't think any one team has just stamped their authority. So yeah, I like the way Germany's looking. Um, I knew this game would be tricky. It's one of those games where like you want to rest your guys for it, but it's also important because you don't want to be second, but you
Yeah.
also don't want to be like you don't want to expend energies the last game before you're in the knockouts, but you don't want to be second. So it was a weird game. Um, so I wasn't surprised that a team like Switzerland, no disrespect, they have nothing to lose. They're not gonna hold anybody back. They don't care about we've qualified already. They want to go try to see how far they can go. So it was always a banana skid of a game, but we just gotta look forward to see how they perform in the next round and go from there. For me, there haven't been any surprises in this tournament so far. Maybe besides Croatia, who I had as my dark horse, but but it's looking like those guys are finished. I mean, but besides that, I haven't seen any surprises. So I'm not really surprised with Germany. I'm not surprised with the way that they performed. Um, a lot of these players have carried over their form from their club, so it's good
Yeah.
to see so far.
Yeah. It is. Let me come to you, the Adams. The Adams, what have you made of Germany so far with what you've seen of them?
I like them. I like them so far. I think they've been the most convincing team. Some of the other teams still have a little bit of question marks around them. Maybe it's because of the teams that those like you talk about France. They played Netherlands, who are also a very top team. I think Germany and Spain are the teams that have answered the most questions so far for me. In terms of how they play. Today we saw that they faced a Swiss team that was ready to go the distance with them. So it was a different type of opposition, different type of challenge for them. But they answered, even though it was in the last minute. They kept on knocking at the door. I've liked Nagelsmann so far. I think he's had a lot of talent and he has made use of them. Right, he's been able to fit in guys into the team, right? Florian Wirtz and Musiala, Cruz, Gundogan, all those guys are playing. Right, it's not a case of this guy doesn't fit in because of this guy. He has found a way to make it work for all of them. So I'm excited to see. And I also like the fact that there's competition within the squad. Look at number 9 position. It still feels like it's up for grabs. Like guys are still, trying to get into the team, and that's good. In a tournament football like this, everybody's on their toes. It keeps everyone on their toes. And like Uzo said, all of them are in top form. So, that's going for them at the moment. So yeah, I think they've been the most consistent team so far. Is left to be seen what happens in knockout. Knockout football is totally different. You make one mistake and you're out. So it's left to be seen what they'll do knockout in the next stages. But yeah, I think they've been the better team so far.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think they've been the informed team. Chooks, let me come to you, right? As an Arsenal fan, I don't know if you've seen a lot of Germany. I don't know what you've made of Kai Havertz. I think he has been leading the line for them thus far in the tournament. Um, what have you made of him? I don't think he has scored a goal. I'm not sure
Yeah, he
if
has.
he has.
He has. He scored in the first game. He scored a pen.
Yeah, scored the penalty against Scotland. Yes, I remember now. Yeah, yeah. But in terms of his overall play as an Arsenal fan, looking at maybe going forward for next season, looking at, do you think Kai Havertz could be the guy to lead your attack? or you're not convinced?
Is it not
What do you
Euros
think?
that we're talking about? You're bringing club.
No, no,
You're
no, 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 no.
bringing.
Oh, no, we're talking about you. No, we're talking about the Euros, of course. But I'm just saying, looking at Cahave's performance so far in the Euros, and then looking forward
Yeah,
long
I
term.
guess he's been, he's been okay. He hasn't done anything flashy, which is kind of how he plays. I guess the star of the show for them has been, Musiala, Tony Cruz, Gundogan. He hasn't really, put himself in a position to be talked about. He's just giving you his regular 6.5 out of 10 and
Mm.
gets subbed off. Today, he actually played the whole game today, but now he hasn't. I don't think he has done anything that requires too much analysis. The guy is just playing ball. Scored penalty against your Scots.
Who's
And
your Scots? Who's your Scots? I don't understand. There's no
why
Scotsman on this board. I don't understand. Which Scots are you
he
talking
scored a
about?
penalty against your Scots, and he has
Which
been
Scots?
quiet since then. Nah,
Uh,
he's
Scott.
been quiet for the last two games. Hopefully, in the knockout stage, he can give me something. I need a goal.
Okay. All right. Of course, as in coming into the tournament, I don't think people were looking at Germany as like outright favorites. This morning. I was looking at the Opta favorability ranking, or Opta favorites ranking, and I know coming into the tournament, England was number one, right? But right now, England has gone down to third,
What?
so it's now France as number one, Germany, and then England at number three.
They
So
had England over France.
yeah, England was number
It's
one at the
crazy.
start of the tournament. But yeah, things it's fluid, so things change, and then so
Yeah, lots
it's
of twists and turns.
thank you. You just took it out of my mouth. Yeah, so it's now France. Okay, speaking of France, let's talk about France. In fact, France has not scored any goal in this tournament. The only goal they've registered was an own goal by an Austrian defender. So 2 games played, no goal. Mbappe with a broken nose. Um, what's happening with France? I've seen a lot of frustration from French journalists. What is the issue? This was a team that was free scoring in qualifying, right? But at the end of the day, qualifiers is different from the main tournament. Um, me personally, I don't know. I've not really watched a lot of the Inter striker. What's his name? Turam.
Turan.
Yeah, I haven't really seen, but I'm not really a fan of him. I've not really been impressed with him. And I think the coach has, I don't know, the coach has decided to make him lead the line, but I don't know. I've seen him. I'm just like, this guy for me doesn't cut it. I may be wrong. I may be People may get on my back for it, but I'm not convinced by him. I don't know what you guys think about France.
I don't know. For me, I think a lot of the commentary on France and England have been a bit overboard, but I get it. Look, I don't know. We've carried this club mindset into international tournaments. Oh, they don't look fluid. Or is it sustainable, bro? What are we doing? What are we doing? What has happened to my beloved sport? This is the same world international tournaments where we've seen the likes of Croatia and Turkey in '02 and um, let me see what's South Korea have gone far in tournaments. Like it's not about sustainability. It's not about free flowing, exciting football. It's about being able to get those decisive moments, being able to make a difference in those decisive moments. And so far, what I've seen is I think that France is a team that is just always going to have those performers, and they already have a solid defense. So they've yet to concede a legal goal, quote unquote. I think it was the right call, the offsides, but I don't think that's the spirit of the offside rule. So it just felt like one of those, eh, you know what I mean? But I'm not mad at the call. So ultimately, they still have yet to concede any meaningful chances or goals. I think that Austria team that they played was a pretty good team, very well coached, as we see from their subsequent performance. So I mean, I think they've been tested adequately. They dealt with a very good Netherlands attack, and I thought they were the better team against the Dutch, even though they were missing Mbappe. So I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be just okay. They missed a lot of easy chances in that first game. Like
That's true.
Mbappe should be burying that 1v1, right? So all this narrative is they've played one game where they should have scored more goals, and then they've played another game without their recognized talisman and leader and their one of their highest scorers of all time. So obviously, like they're not going to be lighting it up, but I think they'll be just fine. They're in a perfect position going to the next game. They can win that, top the group, and all is forgiven. Same with England. So I just think people are being over dramatic and going overboard with the criticism. Some of it is fair, but some of it is just really dumb. I watch France and I don't look at them as vulnerable. Like it's not like, oh, you're about to go beat them 2-0. Like I don't see any other team out there that I'm looking like, oh, this team is gonna cause them a lot of problems. Not really. I've seen Spain, but if we're being honest, Spain hasn't played anybody that great. They've played an Italy team who does have a decent defense, but let's be real, they're not going to threaten you on the other side. So, can we really say that Spain has been adequately tested? We've seen what has become of Croatia, who we all thought, have tournament experience, whatever. It's clear they've fallen off a cliff. They're too old. So, right now, I can't really say, oh, another team has been so impressive that I'm worried about France. I'm not. So, I don't know. I don't know where all the panic is coming from.
Hmm. I think I totally agree with you as well. Like, tournament football is somewhat different from club football that we're sort of accustomed to. I think we're going to touch on that when we discuss England, right? But still sticking with France, like yeah, like just like you said, Uzo, like they look like they are not going to concede. They just look very strong. I think Saliba has been amazing. Like right, the guy has been solid rock. I don't get the idea of why he wasn't why he has not been starting for France. There's been that debate. Oh, the coach prefers what's his name now, Konate, but Saliba has looked solid. Quick shout out as well to N'Golo Kante, man, two man of the match back to back, man of the match performances. Man, the guy is solid. His performances has got people wondering why he's still not playing, in the top club in Europe. The Adams, I don't know. Let me get your thoughts in on N'Golo Kante as your former Chelsea boy. I saw you glazing N'Golo Kante, all over social media, like you bad guy. But he's no longer a Chelsea player, so why are you still farms?
That's a Chelsea legend. What do you mean? That's a Chelsea legend.
Uh,
That's a Chelsea
fair
legend.
enough. Fair enough.
One of the greatest midfielders in this position of all time. And to be honest, I know we talked about it before the tournament started, and Uzo was like, I expect N'Golo Kante to come in and slot right in and do his thing. But I haven't seen him in a long time. I haven't seen him play in a long time, so it was good to roll back the years, so to say. Seeing him. And it just looks like this guy doesn't age, man. This guy hasn't aged a day since he left us. Of course, I haven't watched the Saudi league. I don't know how he's performing over there, but he has just fit in right. He just fit right in, and maybe I know they got to the finals of the last World Cup. Maybe he was the missing ingredient. Who knows? But yeah, and I've been very, very, very impressed with him. I think that he's having an amazing tournament. I would even say right now, I don't know what the leaderboard is, but I'll put him up there as guys that you could say player of the tournament. I think his name should be in the mix. I know he won't win it because he's not an attacker, but I think he's done tremendously well, and I'm liking the fact that people are seeing other parts of Kante's games as well. Like he looks like he has more license. Like he's able to add to the attack. He's passing better. There's a lot of stuff that we know Kante for, but people like talk about his work rate and his tackling, which has been great too. And then
What is this guy? Why are we? Pius, you have to step in. Why are we allowing this dribble to continue? We're seeing new parts to Kante's game. Kante is showing new parts.
Not new parts, but like the parts that people don't like to
This
talk
is
about.
why this is Chelsea fans. This is how Jorginho got top 5 Ballon d'Or votes, man. This is the ridiculousness.
No, but
He has more license.
The
Kante has-
no. The last
Choose.
the
Please,
previous
somebody has to step in.
the
Somebody
previous
has to step in.
the previous time that we saw Kante, he had Pogba, so
Adams,
he was a lot more
on
disciplined.
behalf of
That's
all
what I'm saying.
dark skinned bald men, which I'm now part of, I'm telling you to stop this drivel.
Nah.
Pius, we have to step
I'm
in.
still maintaining
You
my
can't
point,
slap.
man.
You
Like
can't. You can't.
he has more license like in the old previous French team that he has been in because he had a Pogba that liked to venture forward, so he had to be more disciplined. But now it looks like he has that. They're giving him
Like he's
more
playing a
like
different role.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It feels like because I see him a lot of times. I even see him try a couple shots. I'm like, okay, this hardly ever happens. Kante doesn't do this, and I was like, okay, maybe he has more responsibility now. I don't know, but it felt that way to me.
I think it's just been a while since you've seen him on the French team because we have to realize he's been away for what at least one or two tournaments.
Yeah,
Like he hasn't played for them, so I think that's just what it is. But this is what Conte has always done. There's always the myth that he's a DM, but he's never really been a sitting DM in his entire career. He's never had any success doing that. So I don't. I mean, I get that Adams misses Conte, obviously. When you go spend 200 million and you still can't replace the guy, I
nah,
understand
you
it.
don't replace
But
those guys, man. You don't.
yeah, of
You
course. I
just
mean,
don't.
but to be fair, like Conte is one of the greats of the greats. He's one of the greats of the greats. But I don't think he's doing anything new. I don't even think he's operating in any zones that are new to me. At least this is what he did in the Champions League final. One man covering the entire pitch, and you think he's playing 7 different positions. That's what he does.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he playing
So
right wing? Is he the DM? Is he the CM? What is he center back? Why is he in left back? That's what he does.
yeah,
So I think it's just more so we haven't seen these type of performances in a long time, and I think if anything, what it just shows is that there is a dearth of talent right now in terms of that midfield position because we're seeing guys like Cruz, we're seeing guys like Modric, we're seeing guys like Conte, and they're reminding us of like what a midfielder does. And then you think about like today in this day and age, besides a Roger, you can't really think of anyone else who has that same gravity, that same level of like command and authority in the midfield. And it's just refreshing to see, okay, like this is what we used to call a midfield performance. Not now where like your midfielder gets one screamer or like an assist, you're like, oh look, he had a good game. No, this is how Conte hasn't scored a single goal in this tournament. I don't think he's even provided an assist, right? They've
no,
only scored an own goal. So, but we're praising him. He's getting man of the match because you can see on your screen. This is what we call eye test. Guys like these are the guys who invented eye test because you watch them play. You don't care what the stats. If the stats told me Conte was 20% passing and had 10 times lost possession, I would have been like, I don't care. He's the man of the match because of what I saw. And I think that's just really that's why like Adams can go into all this detail because to him, it just feels like, wow, it hasn't been seen in so long. But this is what these guys do. This is what guys like Conte and maybe not Modric right now because his age is showing, but guys like Conte, Cruz in the first 2 games was sublime,
yeah. It was
absolutely sublime. So yeah,
and,
I think he's just proven his mettle.
and I know Uzor and Chooks really, the French guys here. What do you guys think about Rabiot? Rabiot
Can I
playing,
can I just can I just can I just say something on Kante?
yeah.
Yeah,
Adams,
please.
you sat there to lie, and the only reason why I will allow you the only reason why I allowed you to say all those things is because fair. He's a Chelsea legend. What do you mean Pogba is not in the team? What is Chumeni doing? Chumeni had almost 120 passes in the last game. He's the one doing.
Chumeni wasn't Pogba, man. Come on, he
I'm
wasn't like.
saying he's basically filling in that role. To be honest, this is the same thing we see in England. If you go and put Kante in a team where there's no, and I'm not saying like you shouldn't praise him, but I don't go overboard and say we've not seen it. It's like when you people had him with George Junior now, like you can't have a destroyer type player without someone else that is going to do all the other stuff a midfielder is supposed to do. So calm down.
What the midfielder is
Everything is
supposed
good
to
now.
do? Nah, nah. What
But
do
I'm
you
saying,
mean?
yeah, like you can't have that kind of player and expect him to do everything. He's
Yeah,
doing what
yeah.
he's always been good at. Like there's nothing I've not seen anything new from Kante. It's not as if he came back from Saudi and learned new tricks. They've
Bro,
just
this
put him
brother,
in
this
position.
brother is 32, right? Is it 32 or 33? I think around that.
Yes, just around that age range. Yeah,
And to come back, this is a French team that has Kamavinga,
You're
Chouameni,
acting like you're
and,
acting like the guy was Bonds when he left Chelsea. He went to Saudi to make money. I know you're using hazard metrics to judge players, but it's not everybody that dies
they
early.
find it like look at him, look at him. He's trying
No,
to
no,
wait,
but I'm saying though, it's
find a
not
way
everybody
to
that
squeeze.
stops playing ball at 30. Guys are playing till they're 37. The guy left Chelsea probably because of money now. Saudi was paying guys a lot of money. He's like Kante still has it. The guy can walk into the Premier League and start for almost 75% of teams.
Yeah.
Like the guy is showing
yeah,
you, but and with Uzo too. If I've been supporting France, I'm not really worried. It's just too much narrative left and right. I don't expect them to go and beat everybody 5-0. Both games were very competitive,
yeah.
so it's not like, oh my god, it's
They
not like
played
they're
bombs. Yeah,
England.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like both
They
games were
played
very
two.
competitive.
Yeah,
The chances missed, chances created, like everything is there. It's just not
Mm-hmm.
falling in. Mbappe's injury, of course, should be managed properly. I think they are managing it well. They
yeah.
managed to survive that Dutch team, without and they almost scored a few goals here and there. And
Enough for
I
the
I
decision.
think
The,
I honestly think the Netherlands got robbed because
the goal should have been given to them.
yeah, that goal should have been given, in my opinion. If that was against my team, I'd have been screwing up and down because Mayang didn't have any reach to get to that ball. But when you hear, and do you know what is so funny about it? We've not had any big VAR crisis until, guess what? An English
English
referee
referee.
is refereeing the game, and suddenly VAR is taking 2 years to come. The whole tournament has been going on smooth. I don't know if you guys watch Copper. They that stuff we're saying, when they went to VAR, they say it out loud. But you
Yeah,
see, Anthony Taylor, his own, just dragging out the whole. It felt like I was watching Prem. Like VAR decision is taking 5 minutes. Instead of you just say
yeah,
what the decision is, let's keep playing. So if I'm France, just nose Mbappe's nose. That's the real star player here. It's not no Saliba or Kante or Rabi or anybody else.
it's
Mbappe
Absolutely.
needs to
Mbappe.
be on that pitch. All that
Yeah,
defending. I mean, we can see their defending is solid. Kante
yeah.
managed to save my boy from a nightmare debut the first game. So yeah,
What
their defense is solid. That Turan brother, I've been seeing a lot of those Milan fans on Twitter. they,
that
they've
guy? I
been
don't
so
know.
guy. I, I don't know if he's a footballer, if he's just using his dad's name to get on that team.
Come on now. Come
But
Oh,
on
that's
now.
harsh. Come on.
Thuram, Dembele, like they've just been so underwhelming. Like it's
Yeah,
taking an old Griezmann to look like the liveliest attacker.
to
I
drag.
don't like this guy I'm about to mention, but I was even praying for Giroud. Bring him on, please. I was depressed watching Dembele play, but
Yeah,
I don't know
too
why.
now.
I don't know why he plays like that too. Like Dembele, he only has like 3 good games every year, and for some reason, like you see how to start the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, if everybody in the French quarters are all praying for Mbappe's news. Hopefully the next game they don't need him. They go out there, do their thing, but knockout stage, man, we need that guy to be fit.
They said
To
they
be
said my
ready.
guy played some behind closed doors
Behind the closed
friendlies and
doors, yeah.
and bagged the
You know,
brace.
you know those
Play my
friendlies
guy,
where
man.
they're like, if you
Play
touch
my guy,
Mbappe for
man.
inch,
Play
nobody
my
can
guy,
near him.
man.
Yes,
Play
yes.
play play my guy, man. Play my guy. Who do
Yeah.
they play next?
So they play Poland. I think Poland are already
But
out
Poland's already
anyways.
Poland are
out. So,
out.
Yeah,
yeah, now
Poland
they
are
Play
out
should
already.
play. They
play
should
my
bring him
guy.
on
No, play
like
my guy.
15
He
minutes
needs he
left.
needs 2 goals to rejuvenate his spirit. Have
He
you
hasn't
seen the
Yeah,
scored an
stats?
Euro goal yet, though. He hasn't scored yet in the
Yeah,
Euros.
in his career, right?
That's
Soon,
yes, he hasn't
soon,
crazy.
scored
soon
the Euros
come.
goal. Yeah.
Soon
So
come, soon come.
another thing is I think there was the Mbappe interview before the tournament where he was saying that he really wants to win the Euros. Like this is one tournament that has been evading him, in terms of his international trophy collection. And France have not won this tournament in like 24 years. The last time they won it was that David Trezeguet golden goal in Euro 2000. So they've always been maybe semi-final or some. So in 2016 when they hosted, I think they lost in the final to Portugal when everybody thought they were going to win it. So I'm sure this is at the back of their mind. I just feel like we've said defensively they're good. They look solid. I'm just afraid for them in terms of up front. Like they have all the attacking players, all the talent, but I just feel that decision making is a bit poor and selfishness. You know, trying to be the guy to take the glory is not going to affect them in the knockout round. Well, I wish them all the best of luck.
Dembele, man, I don't know about Dembele. Dembele is the suspect one. See, Turam, bro, I know Turam has been. You guys don't like Turam, but I see how fit in Turam. I think he's
Yeah.
okay.
Guy,
But
you've watched
Dembele
2 games. Where's your faith coming from?
for Turam,
Yeah,
nah,
like
nah,
no, like the 2 games you've watched. Where's like
no, not
what has
from
he
those
done that's
games.
giving you
Not from
faith?
those games. Maybe because I just like him. I remember I followed him when he was in Borussia Mönchengladbach, right, in Germany, and then we tried to sign him when he was a free agent and he went to
Oh,
Inter.
makes
So
sense. Chelsea,
yeah,
just
so I've always
just
Chelsea
Chelsea link.
links.
It makes sense. It makes sense now. This Adams
Okay.
guy is so tribal. See.
no, I
Yeah.
just spent more time watching him. So, but
Yeah.
Dembele, I don't know.
So yeah, so that's France. They will definitely be there or thereabouts when it comes to the final on the 14th of June. They will be somewhere around there. We'll see how far they
Sure.
go. Wish them the best of luck, right? Okay, so let's move on to your team, the Adams. England. England. So I was saying, England 4 points right now, topping their group. Most likely they've already qualified to the next round. But that's not the sense you get when you check social media, you are listening on the radio over here in the UK. A lot of angry England fans calling for Southgate to be sacked, calling for Harry Kane to be dropped. So it just feels like England are out of the tournament. Meanwhile, they are topping their group and they are already through to the next round. Like I know we spoke about England the last time, but they hadn't played their second game against Denmark, right? So we've seen them in their second match day now, and I fear there's nothing to write them about, but they somehow have gotten the job done, right? So they are most likely going to qualify. So the Adams, I don't know. Let me get your view, right? There's a lot of talk around. Oh, Bellingham is not playing in the right position. Why is Foden playing where he is? Southgate did not take a natural left-sided player or left-sided defender, because like I was reading somewhere this morning, like England's left side of the pitch is a problem for them. Kieran Trippier is a right back playing there. He's not comfortable. He cannot overlap. Phil Foden is the attack-minded left winger. Doesn't want to play there as well. So that part of the pitch is struggling. So as England's opponents, if you just close down Saka and Kyle Walker at the other side, where do the chances come from, and where does England's goals come from? So that is something that Southgate would need to solve as they're heading into the round of 16. I think their final game is against Slovenia, which I think they will easily, whatever formation they put, if they don't beat Slovenia, then they have no business in the tournament. They should be packing their bags and heading back to Birmingham. Well, the Adams, let me bring you in. What have you made, and what are the problems with England?
Man, there's just too much talk about England, man. I'm just tired of talking about them or saying stuff about England. And of course, like a lot of stuff is being overplayed. Guys are seeing some guys talking about Harry Kane shouldn't start for England, and Saka shouldn't play here, this and that. Declan Rice is the problem. There's too many stuff to talk about England, right? But the truth is that they've been poor. Like they've been underwhelming. That's the truth. Like they've not played. Yeah,
No,
they've not.
no. Pulisic
They've not.
just scored a crazy goal, Adams. I'm sure when you watch it, you'll start
Oh,
saying the guy
really?
should come back to England.
Oh my
Explain.
gosh.
Carry on. Pulisic just
Yeah.
scored a crazy goal.
I'm
Sorry
about to
about
put
that.
on I'm about to
No, no,
put
you have
Fox
to
on.
go and see it. Please,
Yeah.
please.
But
This goal needed. Oh my goodness. But yeah, carry on.
yeah, but
Hit.
we know the problem definitely is Southgate. We talked about the squad that he took to the tournament. That's crazy to have four right sided defenders in the back four. And that makes no sense. Luke Shaw getting in. Wow, that's a crazy goal. Yeah, Luke Shaw getting in, and being injured, Trippier having to play. This is the English Premier League, for God's sake. There's somebody. You can't tell me there's no English left back that you could have taken, right? When even if you had players injured, I can think about Lewis Hall.
Yeah.
There's somebody
Lewis Hall,
else.
you know.
Yeah, bro. if you didn't have, if let's say that's the last person, that's a solid option. You can't take right sided
Oh
players,
God.
bro. You have other players that could go. So I'm like, what's going on, man? What's going on with Southgate? And
No, Adams has a fetish for Chelsea players. My
no, no,
I think
goodness.
that's where you're going. I
So
think that's where
you
you're going.
so you looked around the
that
landscape,
was the first
Adams.
name that came to my head. That was the first
Of,
name that came
Because
to
when
my
I
of
came
head.
to it.
course,
I'm
of
like,
course.
if
What other name will come to your head?
if worse comes to worse, bro, they have somebody that they can take. And yeah, now
They should have taken Conor Bradley.
Conor Bradley is Northern Irish. He's Northern Irish, so
so
he's not.
yo, if he was English, bro, he's a left back, right? So why not? Is he a left back?
No,
I think he's a right back.
Conor Bradley is actually a right back
Yeah,
anyway, so
right back.
they
Yeah,
can't have taken him. No,
and
now
and the,
one of the suggestions was the Everton guy. His left side they would have played Jared Brent with.
yes, I don't know why he didn't go. I don't know why they didn't take him. I don't know why they didn't take him. For guys like
So it's
Konsa,
just a weird. Like that left side is just a weird. Like it took Luke Shaw now, and they're saying now that Luke Shaw might not even be fit to play any game. So why did you now take you took Luke Shaw,
makes
who
no
is injured,
sense.
and then you did not take
Makes
a
no
left-sided player. Now you're struggling because Kieran Trippier
I
is not
should have
comfortable
tried
there.
than Burn at this point. Like
It's
it's just a
just
natural no, that's just a natural left back because like Trippier. And the funny thing is, I was saying it the last time, and I'll say it again. If you've played football and you know, like you're not like like there are guys that can play any position, but for a lot of us, there are just certain things you need to be able to play very well. And Southgate has done an incredible job in putting more than half of his players in very unfortunate situations. Like you look at Trippier. Trippier is not a bad footballer. This guy, like if you
yeah,
play FPL, this guy is a decent to good right back.
yeah,
Yeah,
And you're putting him in a position that he didn't play the whole season. You look at someone
maybe a
like
couple
Declan
times.
Rice. You've tasked Declan Rice with the possible job to do everything from a defensive. He should create, he should pass, he should destroy, he should do all this one. And you managed to make Foden look so horrible. Like some of the
yeah.
things that they were saying. Then the worst part is the Hurricane discourse. Like people are really saying that the guy should be dropped. He's not
Can
this,
you
is not
imagine?
that.
Nah, that was busting my hair. Like,
I was
Harry
like, yeah,
Kane,
like, and all this is on the manager because he has managed to make all these incredible players look so
Look,
horrible.
yeah.
Like, who should Kane be dropped for? Tony. Ah,
Watkins.
I don't know, man. I
And
get why
I know
I honestly get why the fans should be frustrated because it's so many good players. Like, do you know how many countries pray for errors like this where, like, you just have talent to pick from?
just put them in the right position and watch them cook
Yeah,
and let them
And,
cook.
and even if you have to do that, maybe one player in a whole 11. Like we've just talked about like 3 possible or 4 possible players playing in an
play
uncomfortable
positions that they're
situation.
not used to.
Okay,
The
give it
Like
worst
back.
part,
it's
and to be honest, the worst part for me, I don't know how Adams has not got to say this. I don't know how Kopama has not seen 1 minute in this tournament.
Yeah,
And the guy managed to put on Menu as an attacking midfielder. At least this last game was screaming for some creation
it was.
centrally.
It was.
I don't know, man. The
you just
guy
wonder
is making
sometimes.
this job look so hard.
Sometimes you're just wondering like, are the coach watching? Did they watch a different game from you, or
And
is it
he's
that?
saying
Probably
Calvin Phillips is the
is
missing piece.
missed.
Or what
That
did he say?
Calvin Felix has been missed. Man,
It's
the,
just
the only
well,
thing I will say that is just annoying. I was listening to Declan Rice interview today, and they were asking him about like how the players feel about all the criticism, and he was just saying like, I mean, normal answer where they will say, oh, they don't really look at it, but he was saying like, like when they hear like all the ex players criticize them the way like like as almost as though they themselves, what did they win when they were here? I'm like, yeah, like in times like this, a few of those ex players should be the ones to kind of encourage instead of them
rally
to
around
join.
them. Yeah.
I mean, casual fans can talk, but like like if you are using your eyes to see, I can't really blame any of the players out there because they are in an impossible situation, and that those Danish
especially
guys,
especially when
they
you're in the same position and you didn't do anything, like you were
yeah, you didn't
saying.
do anything, and you're coming out to now flog them too. Ah,
And another thing for me is watching Southgate's team over the years. I'm just like, even if he solves one problem as by okay, let's play everybody in their right position. Okay, maybe bringing Bellingham a bit. So let Bellingham and Rice play that midfield. I don't know what they call them, midfield.
pivot.
Do yeah, midfield
Yeah.
pivot, and then you put Foden ahead of them. That kind of stuff. I don't know if I'm feeling your vibe like Adams. That kind of you put Foden ahead of them, put Saka one side. You can even put maybe Gordon
Gordon, bring
on,
out
on
the
the other,
Gordon. He hasn't even touched
put him
touched
on the other
pitch.
side. As in I'm not even a
The only
professional
natural
coach,
left
but
winger has
as in
touched pitch.
That's
that's
just
what I
not like that's just right. Just normal, right?
it's just, yeah, it's just what you just
And you
shouting
don't
at for.
even, for me, I don't even think you have to force Foden in. I guess like
Yeah,
he's the current Premier League Player of the Year.
so you
Nah,
have to. There's
he's
no how he's not going to play. Yeah, so you have to find somewhere for him. Just put him at that place. Put him there. Put
but when you
Gordon.
start forcing guys into a starting 11, that's when everything starts going south. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just funny. And then apart from that, so what's his Southgate style of play? Like, what's his approach play? You're looking at England most of the time. It's just sideways. That's why fans were attacking Declan Rice because you're looking for that midfielder to put in play. They usually say play it in between the lines. When a team has that
well, he's
leg
never
that
been the guy to do that though. He's never been
exactly.
the guy
So
to do
who
that.
is
So
the
why?
guy there? So who is the guy that is supposed to be doing that? Because when a team is sitting in front, like two banks of four in front of the midfield, if you're looking for someone to thread in those passes in between the lines, and you're just
He's
looking,
that's why he
it's just
experimented with Trent.
sideways.
He experimented with Trent, hoping Trent to be that guy. And that's the same thing.
And
Trent,
then
Trent,
and then there's
Trent
another
has not been
argument
that
that
guy too.
and then that's where the argument of Harry Kane. So people were saying, oh, Harry Kane doesn't make the run because Trent is always he knows how to give that run, the pass in behind the defense. Like, okay, so if you're not making that run in behind, how does Trent now pass to you? How does he find you? And then there was the argument that he took off Trent and brought in Gallagher. And then he took off Harry Kane and brought Oli Watkins. That was when I saw when Oli Watkins came in, he was making those runs in behind. That would have been, but So I don't know if you have anything to say about England before we move on.
I said the same thing with the France thing. I think Adams and Chooks, they have a vested interest in the team. I don't. So for me, I can just analyze them. This is the same style. Like Adams is funny because it's the same Adams that defended our man Jose Mourinho Peserio
Bro, I
that
was
went
going to
to
say
go
that too.
that went to go do rubbish in the last AFCON, saying that
Jose
that's the
Mourinho
style that got us
Peseiro.
there. But this is what Southgate has been doing, and he's had more success than any other English manager in like this entire century. Like since 1966, they haven't done anything, and before that, they hadn't done anything. It was even a miracle that they won. People talk about that '66 team like, oh, that was like an English era. No,
Yeah.
it was a shock. That's why you celebrate it so much. You're not that great a nation when it comes to this footballing thing. So this guy has been your most successful manager in more than in your entire lifetime. So I don't. Again, it's the biggest media capital of the world. It's like New York in the NBA or Californian sports. When you come to any of the major American sports, they're just gonna overanalyze things. Like the Dallas Cowboys, they want to know what they did in training today. Why was this player's attitude like this? Why did this guy wear his shoulder pad on the wrong side? Is he protesting silently? What does this guy really believe in? We don't care about it. Listen, they're going to overanalyze, over scrutinize all of the English players. It just comes to the territory because they have the biggest media in sports and they have to occupy themselves with something. I'm seeing American media saying Pulisic and and Messi are the new goats. This is what happens. It just so
Yeah.
happens to be the way that the sport gets analyzed when you're in that kind of media capital. And I'm not surprised that they're being overanalyzed. I think they're doing what I would have expected. I look at that team. I don't think they should be doing any better. I mean, I don't. I don't think they should be
No,
doing
I
any. They
disagree
don't
with
have a
that.
Cruz. They don't have a Conte. They don't have any of the. They don't have a generational midfielder. I'm sorry, they don't have a generational midfielder. Why do people think that they should be doing any better than they're doing? Before the tournament started, I said, look at that defense. Look at the entire landscape of the Premier League and point me out any two decent English defenders that you would have
Defense has
started
done
with.
okay. But I think the defense has done okay thus far.
Bro,
The
Stones
defense have
and
done okay
McGrady
because the
have been
entire
okay.
team is sitting back. If they were to play this expansive football that people somehow think they're capable of playing, then you would be seeing the defense get exposed.
Okay,
don't have
okay.
any-
We're saying, look at the guys, right? Look at the attacking guys.
Jordan Pickford is your starting goal. Like, enough with this pretense that there is some generation, some golden gen. This is an average team that has some superstars. It's an average team.
No, they have more than enough to be.
It's easy to say, but when I ask you to point these guys out, I'm not hearing any names. Who's the generational midfielder?
That's a section of the team, right? You don't always have teams that have, superstars from goalie to attack, right? You can have the perfect blend, and they do because they have Harry Kane, they have Saka, they
What's
have
the perfect
Foden.
blend? What's the perfect blend? You have no defense. Your defense is absolute crap. Their defense is mid-table at best in terms of the Premier League. If you started those five, like the unit of Declan Rice, Gahey, Stones, or whoever they decide to put in there. Who's playing left back now? I don't even know. Trippier,
yeah.
Trippier. These are Aston Villa level. What are we saying?
They're not that bad.
To be honest, me, I'm not.
Pickford behind him. That's what got Everton relegated. This is the kind of defense that gets you from 10th to 17th in the Premier League. So what is this surprise? What is this shock that they're not playing prime Brazil?
I think that's a little bit too extreme. I feel like they have enough.
They have enough. Look at teams they played. They played who? Who did they play? They played Serbia, right?
Bro,
Serbia is not a bad team.
Championship level, then.
They drew to Højbjerg and ball man of the match. Come on, man. You shouldn't be doing that.
You know what? And
Eriksen with... Bro, let me not even say what I was about to say.
Say it. Eriksen with Iron Man hat. Guy's hat is a machine and came out and was moving crazy.
I keep asking, who are these players that should be doing better? Who are these players that should be doing better? Because I don't see it.
Just play people. Like the thing is, you have enough players to play a decent lineup.
Yeah.
At least not look as bad.
Yeah.
Like
they have enough to be okay.
It's so horrible. I don't even recognize my own player anymore. Bellingham, that last game, you will not believe this is the same guy that they are saying they should give Ballon d'Or to. Look at Putin. Nah, come on, man. It's honestly horrible. The only silver lining for me here is just Saka still looks normal. That is the only thing I'm taking home. But the rest of those boys, because if I'm Southgate, free this strength in midfield, man. That guy is your best right back.
Bro, generational right back. Generational right back.
Just play him there. Put an actual midfielder. If you're gonna play Menu and Rice, so just something. Not this Bellingham Trent midfield. When you actually watch the game, Trent drifts somewhere and it's just Rice in the middle. Bellingham is acting like he wants to be a striker. I don't know, man. It's just so strange to see a team that is that talented, because there are teams there that look at Hungary now. Just only one player that is in the top 5 European league, and have managed to out muscle Scotland with multiple players that are playing inside Europe. Come on. If you guys want to stink, let them stink early so Bukayo can come home and rest.
And it's the coach. The coach is there having beef with the other guys that can actually play. Ben White. I don't get that too.
At this point, they should have brought me Madison, man. Matters.
This is what I'm saying. This is not a good footballing country.
Brought me Madison.
I swear, bro. Madison wouldn't be bad right now, man.
See him,
man,
bro. No,
bro, Madison.
Madison right now.
No wonder, Adam. No wonder he's not interested. No Tottenham player.
Yeah. I'll tell you exactly why.
By that logic, why am I interested in France?
Well,
I'm not interested in any of these first players.
This is an English team now.
You think I was rooting for Højbjerg in Denmark? You think I was rooting for Romania? I don't care about any club tribalism. England are not a good footballing country. When you're rolling out Stones and Gahey as your center back pairing,
I
Man,
saw
put some
you are
respect on
not
my
good.
Gehi, man. Put some respect on my Gehi.
I will put some respect on him as a mid-table player, which is where he is right
No,
now.
no,
This
he
is his.
definitely
This
has.
is
He has
he
potential.
has what
You're acting like
potential.
you're
This is a
acting like
26-year-old man potential, bro.
no, no.
Please,
You're
like,
acting like players.
please.
Mid-table teams don't have good players that are not
Adams,
supposed to be
Adams,
there.
Adams, let me ask you this question.
Yeah,
Magui or Upamecano, who will you take?
Like, see the disrespect.
come
Fairs,
on, man. Come on, stop,
fairs,
stop,
man. Fairs, man.
stop.
Anyways,
Go on.
my thing is, I look at the
And
team.
McGahey isn't
I look
26 though. He's not 26.
well, however old he is, he looks 26. He actually looks older. He looks 28. The guy looks like he's dragging shit with me and Pius.
Nah, he's like
Anyways,
he's same age as Gallagher.
see the
like
names
23.
Gallagher. These are the guys Chilwell. That's what they took to Euros, and guys
They
are like,
didn't
oh
take
yeah,
too
yeah,
well. Like he's pinpointing the guys that are are average. How about the guys? How about Palmer?
yeah.
Exactly.
All right, man.
How
All
about
right,
Saka?
yeah.
How
Yeah,
about
Palmer
those
is meant to
guys?
provide balance. Yeah, all right, man.
No. I'm not saying that.
Again,
Like I'm
listen,
saying they have the
listen.
players. They have the players to be
Adams is
better.
one of two things, right? Is either you guys are right, and somehow this team has just underperformed for all of eternity, or we're right, and this is just who they are. I like to favor that I'm right because when you provide evidence time and time again, if you are a goat, you will never ever roar. You will always bah.
Usopp, this is
That's
a
just
team
what it
that
does.
this is
Evidence.
this is a team that has been ranked as the third most likely to win this tournament. You are
And
disrespecting
and they
England.
still are. And they still are. But I'm talking
Oh, you're
about the
talking that
style. I'm talking about the style that people are looking for. The way teams like this will achieve success is to be compact, to be negative, to soak up pressure, and to try to rely on
Nah,
moments because they
not
have.
with
Hold
Harry
on,
Kane and Saka,
hold
man.
on. Exactly, because they have moment players. What are these guys going to do about build-up? Harry Kane never could fix the build-up at Tottenham. We always played in the transition because it's not about having a world-class striker.
They
It's
are
not
not
about
even
having
playing. That's the thing. They're not
world-class
even playing the
attackers
transition well. They're not doing that well.
because they don't have any runners. Again, who is going to do the running?
Guys,
Is it
play
Foden?
Gordon, man.
See the names.
What's it?
I know
Oh,
that
so
I know that
wait,
guy who fought relegation all season.
huh?
Fair
And
play,
wait, no,
man.
no.
Enjoy,
No,
enjoy.
Gordon his ass.
No, I'm just
That's what I'm
saying,
saying.
like,
Let me hear you say it.
I'm just saying, what has he done on the international level
But I'm
that
saying
makes
this
you
is
hold on, Chooks, that makes you think he's going to be the solution?
What you mean?
Okay.
no.
At the end of the
So
day,
No.
at the end of the day, I just think
Can
what
do
people are
something
looking
here.
what people are looking for from England is not something that exists. That's all I'm saying. If they get a better coach and maybe they can cook something else, maybe I'm the one that's unaware of their talent. But I'm telling
Come on
you,
now.
if you're giving me evidence time and time and time again that this is who
11
you are,
goals,
this is who you are.
10 assists, being a terror on the
Adams,
wing. At the
Adams,
Gordon on that left wing
Yeah,
is like maybe 75% Rashford.
I agree with you. I know. I
Someone
say
that can
60,
run. Because I
60%.
mean, you're right. Like
And,
they don't
and
have
even but if,
any runners up.
but even with Rashford in the team last year, last Euros, they played the same way.
No, they
But
played
And
yeah,
it
but I'm
well.
got
saying
them
like
to a final.
it
You know
is
what? England fans cried all tournament up until the last kick of the tournament. It reminds me of even us Nigerian fans that were crying,
I was about to
somehow
say that
ended
too.
up in AFCON. I simply said, I don't want us to play that style. Get the coach out. That's it. Now, in the case of England, it's not about anything that like success or because compared to his predecessors, he's had more success. This guy, Jose Peseiro, has not had more success than his predecessors because we've had coaches that have come into the team and done more. But objectively speaking, like this is a matter of fact. This is their most successful coach in almost the whole century. So what are we saying?
no.
Adams.
The only thing me I'm saying is the way they got far in those tournaments. He's not even close to replicating it this year. Like you leave out Rashford, you leave out any decent midfielder that you have. You don't play any left back. You have an old Kyle Walker playing this team, and those two defenders, bro. Come on. I mean, I like Gahey, but
So if you drop Kyle
he's
Walker now,
suspect.
you already don't have a left back. Who
But I'm
what's your
saying, like,
lineup?
I'm saying you can go to the Premier League and get a decent left
Because
back.
even Trent that everyone's been clamoring for, he didn't have a good season this year in the Premier League.
Yeah, but
He
like
was in and out of injury. The
he's
moments that when he came back, he hasn't really been back to his top self. So it's like, I mean, what are we saying? It's not like
yeah,
there's
but
a
I'm saying
clear cut choice.
even if you want to play Trent, I mean, you can play Trippier or you can play
Trippier
Trent.
didn't have a good. Trippier was getting rinsed every week in PL. People were
Now,
saying
but
this
I'm
guy's
saying
done.
the guy is decent enough to do the job. Like
Everybody's decent enough.
I'm not saying England should go and win the tournament. All I'm saying is what they are putting out there is not close to even being decent. Like it's
No,
very, you know, somebody is
it's not.
bad. Like you can say
But I'm
okay,
saying if this gets
there
them
are
to
teams
another
that are bad.
semifinal, what are you gonna say?
Well, I mean,
Then
yeah, like
fair
at the end of
play,
the day,
yeah.
is a knockout tournament.
What'd you say, Adams?
I said, yeah, fair play. If they get to the semifinal, then
No, bro,
yeah.
So
it's
they
not.
just come.
There's no fair play. It's knockout tournament. You can be bad and get to the final. But the thing is, they've just been so bad that you can't even be
Yeah,
you're
Uzo,
looking at
Uzo is acting
players.
like we're wrong to have this conversation about
No,
England.
no, I'm saying you're wrong because we have it every single tournament. At what point do you just accept that that's who they are? That's what I'm asking. Because people did this for Spurs all the time, and I'm used to the conversation. Oh, they have Kane, they have Son. Why aren't they? I remember Klopp famously said, "You have these two world class players. They should be playing in a different way than that." But at some point, you just have to realize that's who the team is. That's their identity. There's a reason why we played that way for 7, 8 years. It's like that's not 7, 8 years, but for 2, 3 seasons when we're in transition. My thing is the team is the way the team is because of the way the team is built. When you're relying on midfielders who don't like to pass the ball forward, slow, unathletic center backs, you're relying on fullbacks that either don't know how to defend or if they can defend, they don't know how to attack. You're not gonna have balance. I look at a team like Spain.
Right.
They've got fullbacks that are very technically secure. They've got a midfield general, one of the last remaining of his kind in this generation in Rodri. You look at a team like Germany, who's having success. They've got Cruz winding back the hands of time. They've got Rudiger, who's someone that's solid in defense. They've got an attack that's fluid. They got Musiala. They got Verts. There's balance everywhere. They have a goalkeeper who has pedigree, who's won things. Then you go to who else is playing well? Who else can we point out and say that they're playing well besides France, Germany, and Spain?
Portugal.
Portugal is playing all right, but even with Portugal, you see a guy like Pepe, again, defensive stalwarts, turning back the hands of time. They've got midfielders who can dictate pace. You've got guys like Bernardo Silva, Vitinha. You've got a goalkeeper in Costa who's proven a young talent that's ascending. They have a balanced team. I go to England after I name the attack. I'm struggling. Which one of those English center backs or fullbacks would you have over any of those guys that I just mentioned?
Oh no, what you're saying is facts.
Like
Me,
those
I'm
teams
not.
are better than them. That's my
Yeah,
whole point. They're better.
I just feel like they've just been too bad. Because my own thing is, I'm not an England fan. I rather them leave now so my players can come back. But what I don't like is some of the discourse you see online. It doesn't have to be players that you like. Like the whole Hurricane, Rice, even Foden. Foden, a player that I don't even like. Like you hear what some analysts are saying, and you're like, come on, man.
It's
Like
what they get paid to do, though.
I mean, yeah, maybe that's
Man,
They're
they can
also
be
biased.
better,
They're
man.
also
They can
biased.
be better, yeah.
that's
And they're also
that's what
biased.
media
They're Englishmen.
coming to. But it's like I don't know, man. I just hate when like decent to good enough players are being rinsed because their manager has decided
Yeah.
to practice cultism on
Gu-
pitch.
gu- Guys, let's wrap up this England discussion, right? I think my own take on it is, yeah, like Chooks and Adams have kind of said, this is a team that should be performing better than they've currently performed in these two games, right? In terms of, okay, even if you are saying that they're not as good as those other teams that Uzo has mentioned, maybe Portugal, but at least with the level of opposition they played, Serbia and even Denmark, who have not been decent of recent,
They're
even though
still
they're a good team.
undefeated, 4 out of 6 points. Like you said, they've qualified.
Yeah,
They can still
yeah.
win the
It's just
group.
that,
I just think it's
yeah,
so doom and gloom for no reason. Like
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
they crash
I
out,
get
let's
that
have
it's
this
over the top.
conversation.
It is over the top.
yeah,
Also, they came
exactly,
into
yeah.
the tournament in bad form. People are forgetting that. It's not like they were just gonna immediately zip into good form. They have to
Blitz,
play
yeah.
themselves back in. They have to play themselves back into form. I think France also came in on bad form, so
It's
it be like
I
that.
don't. I think
Let
it's just a
Bukayo
fetish
come
around.
and
Oh,
prove.
let's play attacking, free flowing. We have the
Yeah,
best attackers. Let's
yeah.
dismantle our opponents.
Which England has never ever been. I think it's so unique for me because like I've never been a fan of the English team, so I can analyze them like from a neutral perspective.
Yeah,
I've
maybe
never looked
that's
at
the
England as one of those teams that's a high, like Spain. Yes, I can say yes, that's a team that attacks. France, that's a team that attacks. Portugal, yes. Historically, I can rattle off names. England has never been at the forefront of that for me.
Yeah.
Argentina, Brazil, these are countries that I think of. Even Colombia, to a certain extent, have produced some exciting attacking teams. England, even in their golden generation, I've never looked at them as free flowing, fast,
I mean,
like
but
they've always
I
been a
mean,
yeah,
good,
yeah.
balanced team, like a bunch of 9 to 5
Adams,
hardworking
Adams.
men.
We didn't watch England score 6-2 to Abi Iran, give Wales
To
3
Iran.
for all
Bro,
this.
Yeah,
They need to run
exactly.
that offense through
against
Bukayo, man.
Spain,
Yeah.
Southgate.
Sterling scoring those
Senegal,
goals against Spain.
yeah, against
Bro, it is
Senegal as well.
England has this like the tools are there.
But see, you
Honestly,
Yeah.
just named like 3 games in like a
but I'm
20
saying
year
that
span.
was just the World Cup last season now.
It was
Which
Yeah,
just the
even
World Cup.
Qatar.
but the World Cup they went to the semifinals. It was all penalty shootouts,
But I'm saying,
1-1,
but
one
Qatar,
nil, whatever
you
they
saw
could.
expansive ball from them. Like
Yeah, you
And
did.
that Qatar World Cup almost made me delete my hate. And maybe
Yeah,
the only reason why was because of Saka. But
yeah,
you watch them the last World Cup and
yeah,
you're seeing this nonsense in
yeah.
front of you.
Even
Ah,
because that's the thing, because people, I think their fans, like their pundits here in the UK, BBC, they know that they can play better. Even the game that they lost to France in that last World Cup, they were arguably the better team. They controlled that game better. They just, they couldn't just find their way to score. I don't know, for whatever reason. Saka and those, they just,
Harry Kane, man. He's Harry Kane.
Harry
yeah, and Harry
Kane.
Kane,
Kane.
they played better. So their fans know that they can actually play better than what they are offering now.
you know,
But,
right?
but
If
but but by the way, but like we said, let's move on from England. Time has gone. But like we said, they are topping their group. They are most likely through to the next
England is
round.
turning into Chelsea on this podcast,
It's
Adams.
it's, it's
Any team
tournament.
Adams supports,
The
It's
the
will
the
spend
the
30
media
minutes.
capital, man.
Hey,
Adams is
yeah,
the
Ah,
media.
stay away from.
Adams is the media
I'm not in
himself.
a
the
good.
it's the football media capital. Football. All right. So England are fine. I think they'll be fine. I think this tournament
that's
football, you don't even
that's
need
what
to
you
play
said
so well.
about Scotland, Sha. They'll be
When did I say that about Scotland? I didn't say that about Scotland.
we
Where
have
can
faith.
quote me where I said that about Scotland. Okay, let's
Paulinho.
let's let's move on to another team that is doing very well so far. Spain. Spain, 2 wins out of 2, 6 points, 4 goals scored, none conceded, looking good. The last game against Italy, wow, what a performance. The only thing that was missing was the goals. I watched that game and I'm like, wow, this is an Italy team that people were like, oh, they looked good in their first game, and Spain made them look so ordinary. In fact, yeah, I was watching the highlights on like UK TV, and I'm like, you couldn't see Italy didn't have any. It was almost like you're watching Spain highlights. That's the highlight of the whole game. It was superb from them. Nico Williams, shout out to you. Lamine Yamal, shout out to you. Jose Perez in 2024 was giving Di Lorenzo nutmegs, running in behind, man. And as I'm to shout out to your guys, well, Cucurella, some people have said these 2 games is looking like he has been the player of the team so far. A lot of accolades going his way. So yeah, a lot of good things. I saw a quote from the Spanish manager saying he has watched most teams and he has not seen any team that is better than his team right now. So that's the confidence that is
Very, very soon. You'll soon
exceeding
know.
from the Spanish team. I don't know if you guys have anything to add about them. Adams, let me start with you. Cucurella, man, great performance so far.
Yeah, he's been great, man. Especially before, what Guy never said before the tournament, uh, and he's been able to,
Laugh.
he's been able to
Fire,
prove the
please.
doubters wrong.
Save us 10 minutes. Save us 10 minutes. I was about to say he hasn't seen Cucurella's hair move. Like, save us, please. I was about to say he hasn't seen Cucurella, his hair move to the left. He was invited. That he's a new man this tournament.
No, choose. Let Adams cook, please. Adams, please
Oh
go on,
God.
please. Adams, please cook. Adams, please cook.
Yeah, he's been great, man. He's been great. I mean,
Oh, guys, what's going?
Oh man.
But is it not true? Cucurella has been super these 2 games now.
Oh, oh man.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Adams, please go on, please. Adams,
Well, yeah, I've liked what I've seen so far. Um, I'm excited to see. I'm excited for next season to see what he can do next season. But yeah, I've been so not like I've not I'd be surprised, but I didn't expect him to do this good. I was even expecting him to start for Spain, but credit to him and those guys, man. Nico Williams and Nami Yamal, man, those guys are just extraordinary. And the way they're constantly able to get those looks, those 1v1 looks, and I think Uzo talked about it. They have Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, they have Pedri. So it's always that midfield blend has been really good. I know they're still getting some critics talk about their midfield, like they feel like they can be better in terms of like possession and winning back the ball. But I've liked them so far. And Morata is leading from the front. He's just one of those tournament strikers that like he's having a really great tournament. And he talked about Jose Perez. I was surprised to see him as well. Um, get those looks against Spain. Yeah, so I think they've been all right. They've been a really good team. Let's see what they can do in the knockout stages.
yeah, absolutely. They've been superb. Uzo, you want to say anything about Spain? Have you been impressed with them?
Yeah, Spain have been good. I think I touched on them in my English and French analysis. Just talking about the teams that have been exciting, and obviously they jump out as one of the major teams. Again, Spain are who they are. I'll never really take them serious until they get over that hump. They've done this in every major tournament. They looked very exciting at the World Cup, and ultimately they crashed out. They looked very exciting at the last Euros, and I think they ended up crashing out to the eventual champions, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
But
yeah. On
yeah,
penalties in the semi-final, yeah.
they've always been an exciting team for me. I mean, I think you pretty much know what to expect. It's just they don't have that guy that's gonna decide fixtures when it gets to those like nip and tuck games. Like, and I'm 1,000% backing it to happen again this tournament. They're gonna get into a game where free flowing football is not the solution because again, this is tournament ball. You're gonna get a half chance, and you need a guy that's just gonna put it away, and they're gonna lose. I'll bet anything on it. But like I said, they are who they are. They're playing really well. I think Lamine Yamal has been a good revelation. It's always nice to see a new face, burst onto the scene and deliver. And I think him with the pairing with him and Nico has been very exciting, at least in terms of what they can offer in attack. Um, I think some respect needs to be put on Carvajal's name. He's becoming very underrated all of a sudden, right? I think about the few players that are in that mode where they're just a core of so many winning institutions and they just fly completely under the radar. Like I think he reminds me of, and this is no disrespect in terms of his ability, but he reminds me of like Gary Neville,
I
where
was about
like
to say,
he was always an afterthought. You just never really think of how many winning teams at United he was a part of. Just guys that are in that mode. They do all the dirty stuff. They do all the basic stuff, but they do it to like an excellent 1,000% level. I think he even scored their opening goal of the tournament. So yeah, Carvajal put some respect on his name. Besides that, I think it's a very well built, well balanced team. Rodri's kind of really showing you his maturity, and I forget like he's 28 years old. I thought he was in his 30s. Like it feels like he's been doing what he's done for such a long time, but it hasn't really been that long. But he's really starting to like mature beyond his years. When you think of a 28-year-old midfielder, you're not really thinking of like prime yet because midfield is one of those positions where you really age into it. Like it's such an old man's position because you have to know how to read the game and like really just understand. That's why like most midfielders in their peak is like that. I guess 28 to like 32. That's where you start to see midfielders like really get seasoned. So yeah, he's looking like he's really grown into his stuff. But yeah, they've been exciting to watch. They're one of the few teams because honestly, this tournament has not been exciting for me to watch. I'll be real. Like coming from watching AFCON, I haven't really gotten off my seat for any games so far. Maybe besides the Turkey and Georgia game, and maybe the first game, Spain versus Croatia, where I was just like, oh my god. Croatia didn't look like they should be down 3-0 because I think they even had higher XG. They were just missing every chance, and Spain was scoring every chance. But there haven't been many exciting games, but most of the games that have been exciting have been involving Spain. So,
I
much
That's one
respect to them.
argument that I've seen online. I think some people have been saying AFCON produced more vibes or more.
By far. At this stage of the
Wow,
tournament, AFCON was already looking like an all-timer. But
fair play
this
to the
Euros, to
organizers.
me, one thing this Euros is providing, though, is the opportunity for a lot of very interesting knockout stage clashes. There's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of very good ones. So hopefully it keeps trending. I don't want any more underdogs, rubbish. I'm glad that all of Pius's friends have been getting slapped left and right. All the all the Scotlands and the Georgias and all these guys, get them all out. Let's have a proper tournament. I don't want any Cinderella story. No, none of that. I was very pleased to see Turkey get smacked 3-0. I don't all this dark horse rubbish. Get the
Yeah,
good guys into the final 8 and let's cook.
Yeah, time is fast. We're still going to touch. Okay, Chooks, let me come to you, right? Let me get your thoughts on Spain, and let's add Portugal as well because of time. I don't know if you've seen either of those teams and what you've made of their tournament so far, especially since both of them have qualified with a game to Spain.
With Spain and who else?
Portugal.
Oh, I mean, yeah, the Spain thing is the same thing I said even with Italy. Like they don't have anybody that makes you be like, is jumping out of the screen. They are just very well coached, and they are playing like it. The Italy game was, I don't think Spain ran away with that game the whole time. I mean, it was an unfortunate own goal, so they haven't decided the game. But I think it's been their history since after 08 and after 2010 and 2012.
Yeah.
Like they just get into the knockout stage and they lose to something strange.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any different makers than.
Yeah, that killer instinct that they don't have. That era of 08, 2010, 2012, David Villa, Fernando Torres.
Yeah, they just had
those vintage strikers that would just, yeah. But even at that, I think 2010, there was a time where Fabregas was playing false nine, right? Yeah, and I think so.
But also the core of that Spain team was that center back pairing with PK and Ramos, all those guys, like having that kind of like authority. Because I think that Spain team, surprisingly, they kept a lot of clean sheets in that run. They had a bunch of 1-0 games. That Villa would score one banger and they'll see it out.
Shut
the door. So
yeah. I think Portugal as well have also been. The first game against Czech Republic,
Portugal looked very scary. That's the weird thing is like their attack looks very good to me.
Yeah.
Forget about the goals they've scored. They look like they're capable of creating chance after chance.
That's what I'm about to say. Yeah, I know people were talking about that game against Czech, but I think they created a lot of chances in that game. They kept coming. Like it wasn't like they sat back. It was totally different from how England played, right? So
yeah.
And even in the Czech game, I believe their first equalizer, or they had a goal ruled out, right?
Yeah.
I believe they had a goal ruled out.
Yeah.
And they just still went on to win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still went on to win the game. So they look primed and ready. And if Ronaldo is going to do this unselfish leadership thing, then I'm here for it, man. I'm here for us to rewrite our PR. That's my original goal, but I couldn't cook. But we've got ingredients now, man. Let's keep doing the PR thing. You know what I mean? Like we're coming.
And I think with the whole talent stuff around Portugal, talented squad. I think one question mark that I've been seeing people raise is their manager, right? Roberto Martinez. Some people I've been seeing people like saying, how did he get the job? Like he was formerly of Belgium, Some people argue that he wasted Belgium's golden generation. Now he left them and is now in Portugal. So there's always that question mark around him. But I think he's a decent coach.
I think so too. I think he's all right.
People judge international football like it's club football. Like who else are they going to get?
Exactly.
Do you think people want to coach countries like and be be doing nothing for half the year and getting a stupid salary? Like I think considering how many managers are out there that have been to the Final Four of a World Cup, gone far in the Euros as well. Like there's not many more names that you could have named.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he has.
And he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job.
He has a bronze medal with Belgium in his CV.
With Belgium at the World Cup,
just scored.
Yeah.
Flo?
Yeah.
Flo's a good player, man.
I think US are
Arsenal
playing like.
Arsenal need to invest in the youth more in it.
Hey man,
It's
that's
true.
very
No,
good for the guy.
okay, choose. That's something for after the show. Choose. It seems Arsenal will be
No,
losing a lot
no,
of their
Arsenal can.
talents. No, I said after the show. No. Okay, so right. So as we kind of like, well, time is fast. As far as we try to round up the show,
England,
right?
right? England derailed the whole show.
Yeah. Just looking at just a quick touch on. I know Uzo has said, "Oh, no, none of this dark horse nonsense." But I like the look of. I like the look of Austria, Ralph Rangnick, looking very good, looking
I'm with you on
decent,
that one, Pius. I'm with you on that. I like them too. I
Yeah,
like them.
yeah, they look very, the pressing monsters, the school of counter pressing and pressing. They look very good, what's
Pius,
his
before I
name?
turn my camera on, 2 seconds. Just quick 2 seconds. Name Austria
What?
striker. 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
An
Don't
out of
Google.
reach. What
Don't
do you
think.
mean? An out of reach. Come on.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Come on. Even the guy that scored
Name another attacker. Name another. Just
there's
one.
there's Baumgartner. Come on.
Don't play
I
with
know,
Pius,
as in,
man. Don't play. Pius takes this thing serious. He takes the. Wait,
Somehow, Pius, that was a lose-lose situation for you, because if you didn't know a name, I would have clowned you. But you knowing those names just proves how much of a nasty guy that you are.
Pius takes. Where did he go? Yeah.
They've off his internet, man. Those names you just said are like a witch spell.
No, those
Yeah,
are
Natovic, man.
these are some decent
Not to be
players.
someone that was at Stoke, and they will tell me certain countries should not be doing better. We have Stoke
That's the
City
thing.
for
That's the thing. Look at them. They have their style of play.
Exactly.
They have their style of play and they are sticking to it and they know what they want to do.
Come on, there are decent players in Austria.
Southgate's coming up with excuses like the guys are not at their fitness levels. Some crazy.
It's
Like,
just about that dash. Rubbish.
man,
You're looking at
that's-
look at the way Austria play. Look at World Route. As in, you know a good coach when you see
let
one. Like
let England play France like this, bro.
even this
What's his
Austria,
name?
even England,
Go here.
Austria,
What's
if
his
they
name?
catch England, this Austria, they catch England, they will beat England. They're not careful.
Nah, they're not. Beating,
Sabitzer, this
they are not beating England. I beg.
it will shock you. Sabitzer, Lima from Leipzig. Come on. Those are decent players, by the way. So Austria are looking like
They're looking
what
like they
about
can win it all, have you?
No, don't quote me. I didn't say that too.
I was about to say all that praise, and they're still on the same point as England, who are doing terrible. Well, actually, they're even on less points because they
Yeah,
lost.
even less points. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
they
they lost to France. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
The same France that we're saying are doing poorly. Anyways, the yardstick is different from most.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, Austria can end up not qualifying out of this group because I
Yeah.
don't know that they're favorites against the Netherlands. I don't think that they'll win that, and I think all the Dutch have to do is just draw and they'll be through. So
If
Anyway.
they draw, I think that still keeps them in, right? That keeps Austria in because
no, the Dutch
have-
have a better goal difference. No,
No, I mean for the third place thing.
Yeah, third place team. Yeah, I think they'll be fine with a draw in their final game.
So Hungary has 4 points too, right?
wait, third place
No.
goes through.
Yeah,
Third
like
place
4
doesn't
of
go
them,
through anymore.
4 of
No,
them.
No, third place goes through in this particular Euros. Yeah.
Just 4, right? Just
I could
4.
have sworn they said
Yeah,
that these.
there's four teams that go through.
Yeah, the
Austria
four
is
best-
leading
the
the
third place
table
ranking.
right now.
Yeah. So the 4 third best place teams
Oh
make it
man,
to the round.
yeah,
of
I'm so
16.
disinterested in this tournament. I thought they were because like they said, what was the team in Group A that got the first team to be officially
Poland.
out of the Euros? Right, they still have a game to go.
Yeah,
so
but
why are they
can't-
out?
They can't.
Nah, they have
They're
0
so
points.
bad.
They need 4. They need 4.
They need
You don't
4.
really need
points
if you're saying
minimum.
the best 4 teams. Not every team has 4 points. There's a reality where if they score enough goals, they could have still going through. So why are they automatically out?
Nah, -3, 0 goals.
Yeah,
they
I
can
mean if
make
they
it.
It's over.
no, but what I'm saying
Okay,
is
yeah, mathematically,
they should be
yeah,
mathematically. If they're mathematically out, that's different. But they said that they were mathematically out, which is not true. If it's unlikely, I get it. But right now, there's a lot of
I'm
teams
sure
that don't have 3 points.
I'm sure
There's a lot of
there's
teams
a
that don't.
reason why
I
they
mean,
put
but
them
they are the only team with 0. Maybe the red card too.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
there's
it's
a way there's
goal
yeah.
difference and fair play.
No, no,
Anyway,
Usually,
but
No,
no,
it's
no,
rubbish,
Chooks.
no,
man.
no, that's
I
not
get
the
all that, but what I'm saying is they're not mathematically out. We know it's unlikely, but the fact that they said they were the first team eliminated
Yeah,
oh
why did they
made
say
me
that?
think that.
If I'm
Yeah,
sure
that's the.
there must be a reason why they said
yeah,
it.
And,
there's a
and they
reason.
said
There's a
that they
reason.
said that before any of these round of games even started. They just said they
Yeah,
were out.
that's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying.
no,
That
no.
there must
I
be a
think
reason
it's
why they
because
said that.
there's no. Okay, I don't know. Maybe there's no scenario they can finish third.
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm
I
thinking
Oh
disagree.
yeah,
I'm
because
looking
they beat Austria beat Poland.
right. I get that.
So
If
even if
us
even if they win, they can't finish
Chooks,
third
no,
place.
Oh,
if Austria go on to lose,
oh
Oh,
yeah, that's it.
yeah, head to
I think
Yeah,
head.
Chooks has yeah
if Austria go to lose and Poland win, they can't finish third because the head to head.
Oh,
head.
that makes
Austria beats
sense.
them.
also it's
Yeah,
head to head
Chooks has
before goal
cracked.
difference.
Chooks
yeah,
has
Yeah,
cracked it. Chooks has
Interesting.
cracked it.
yeah.
Chooks, thanks for that, man. Thanks for
Well,
that. So
if they're still doing the highest, I have a theory that any tournament that does highest third place just cannot be good. And I know Afcon
I
did
thought
it.
yeah,
I
Afcon did
know.
it. Yeah, I
That's
was
how
also
the
saying
eventual champions were even chosen, which proves my point
exactly.
even more. That was
don't even remind me, please. Let's end the episode.
Nigeria
Exactly.
should have
So
been
Jesse
Nigeria should have been the rightful
co-host.
winners.
Is in my core because of
at,
Pius.
at
Pius.
the end at the end of the day, I'm actually for. I don't know why so many. I'm actually for more teams in in the tournament. Look at the excitement that we've had. Those Balkan teams, man, Georgia, Albania. Those guys are giving us some exciting
I'll be
matches.
real. I didn't watch any of those games. I
Oh,
didn't
then
watch
you missed
any
it.
of
Then you
those
missed,
games.
man. Those guys, total box. They play with freedom. Like there's nothing like all those four at the back. Just 3-5, just attack. It's been brilliant. Those guys have
Yeah,
been brilliant, man. Really, really
you can tell
impressive.
Pius watches ball at his lookout park. The guy just goes there to go watch and
Yeah, he
observe
watches anything, man.
pressing patterns. Give me superstars, man. I don't want to watch guys that are going to be shooting the ball to Rosie every 5 minutes. Give me superstars, man.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Watching the likes of Mudrik, the likes of
Misha.
Mudrik and Zini, Zini the Don.
And the thing about it is, and just like something Luzo said, which I think is like the UK in terms of football, like they control the media. What's the word you use now? Is the media wing or the media capital?
Yeah, media
Because
capital.
you're looking at, you'll be saying, oh, you're looking at Scotland. You'll be surprised that even you're looking at Albania. You'll be surprised that Albanian team, they feel like they're better than Scotland.
They are.
I think
Because
every team is better than Scotland. I'm
because
pretty
now
sure.
when you're looking at Scotland and you're just like the commentator just because I was watching it on BBC Scotland and the commentator was like Che Adams has 2 goals in 19 appearances for Scotland. And I'm like, what? And this is the guy that is leading the line.
Patrick Schick has 2 goals in his last 2 minutes.
That's crazy, man.
But Che Adams is the championship team.
How did Scotland make it to this?
How did Scotland make it? And Haaland and Odegaard couldn't drag their team into this tournament.
Yeah, that was the result that took Scotland. Actually, they beat Norway
Yeah,
away in Oslo.
McTominay came Odegaard and Haaland. Odegaard is in Dubai taking holiday with Ben White. His peers are here playing Tony.
It's so funny because tournament football. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. But
Now
fair play to
McTominay dragged Scotland to where they were not supposed to be.
It reminds me of how Gareth Bale used to drag Wales those days, man.
But Wales were still a lot better, man.
They
Yeah,
weren't a lot better than anything.
They were.
Besides Bale and Ramsey, they had they had a
That's
nasty
it. They
team,
still have
man.
one very good world-class player, Bale.
guys. Let's
Scotland have
Scotland don't have
Robin
anybody.
now, and
Nah, Scotland had John McGinn now. Come on, put some
Andy
respect on.
Robinson,
Put some respect on. Put some respect on McGinn.
guys that have seen Champions League. Come
Oh,
on.
no, Chooks. No, Adams is forgetting. They have Sir Billy.
Oh,
Now they call
yeah,
him.
they have Billy. They
Scotland
have
happy
Billy.
because they are happy.
like I mentioned, I was like, if Scotland were to qualify from this group, man, that would have been a travesty. My goodness, the quality is so bad. It's so
One
bad.
day your
It's so
dark
bad.
horse, Pius. They're your dark horse.
No,
now.
which dark horse? Come
Was
on,
wearing the
come on.
Scotland jersey. Dude,
The guy took train to go and watch them. Too. Nah.
They held 5.
I'm sure Pius Coffee was not even warm yet. He saw 4 goals. Oh boy. Nah.
You know which game was really that Turkish game. My goodness, they they should go apologize. You know how all those Inter Milan ultras used to call the players to come and apologize, and then they'll be cussing them, "You bastard." That's what Turkish fans should have called all 11 players. Come here, bring. They should have all knelt down, and they should have
They just
rained down
put that game
curses on their
away.
name.
But
The way they
Turkey,
performed is one thing to lose, but that performance is probably one of the most disgraceful performances I've seen at a tournament in my life. They were so bad. They looked like
I
they
s-
just got some random 11 guys. There was one guy, they were holding offside trap. He was way behind. Then he tried to quickly hold it. He now
and he
fell.
slipped. Yeah,
That-
he slipped. No, but also come on. I think Turkey is a decent team. They just had
yeah,
a
but
team
that
can
was a
have
bad
day.
performance. No, I'm
Yeah,
saying no.
they can
That
have
performance
yeah,
was
they can have
shameful. It was shameful.
That was more than
But
a
you'd be
bad day, boy.
It wasn't a bad game. It was shameful. It looked like they weren't focused. They weren't prepared.
No,
That-
no, no,
that's
no,
a-
no, no, no.
That's one of those games where you look at it and you're like,
Why?
what did you guys practice? Oh,
No.
no, that was poor. That was a poor game. That was a
Disagree. I
very
just
poor
think you
game.
guys are just like
Did you see how
see
many?
about- no,
it's
no,
it's
no,
because it
no,
was only 3. It could have been easily been 7.
no. The
They
thing
had
about it is that
howler
this
after
Turkish team is
howler after
of
howler.
course they played a better Portuguese team, a more superior Portuguese team, right?
But
But
like
the
it was
Turkish
too
team
Yeah,
is
no,
easy,
no, no,
though.
no,
It was
no,
too
no, no.
easy.
It was.
That's the point.
It was.
yeah,
They beat
it's when they gave
themselves.
away those goals, of course, and they just
They beat
once the sec-
themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Once that second goal went in, of course, it knocked the stuffing out of them. But I
And
think
that's what
they're
I'm
a
saying.
decent team.
The fact that the second goal broke them is even worse because you're
No,
already
it's a young
beating
team.
yourself. For you to
I
not
think
hang
it's
your head,
I think it's the
that's
second
that
youngest
was
team in the tournament. Come on, I
it
think
was
they're
it was
just
shameful.
and I think they'll be fine. I think they're going to surprise you in the knockout stages because I think they're through anyways.
They'll
Regardless of what
surprise you. It's not
happens.
me. They'll surprise. They ain't no-
All right, guys, let's. We've not had chance to talk about. Maybe next episode we'll talk more about the Copa America. And I think by then it would have been more into the
Yeah,
business
we
side
we
of
just got
things.
started and we already had the first red card
Wow. And I think
in
the US are currently
Valencia.
playing. They are playing farmers and
Nah, he
Bolivia.
wanted to kill that guy, man.
Man,
That was a
All right,
bad
guys.
from Valencia.
Yeah, choose. Let's close out the
That
show.
guy's a World Cup legend, though.
just like Ahmed Musa, put some respect on the name, man.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
how
guys,
you know it's
thanks.
time to end the pod. Yeah. Go ahead, Paris.
Yeah.
Close us out. Close us out.
Yeah. So,
Once
guys,
Adam start naming his guys,
thanks for coming up on the show, guys. Thanks for coming. Also glad to have you back. We've missed your analysis, your top-notch analysis. Much appreciated. We're happy to have you back. Chooks, thanks for taking our time to come. The boss man, the Adams, thanks once again for doing this, guys. So, guys, thanks a lot.
What's Uzo doing?
Thanks.
I was going to shout out Ahmed Musa, our producer. He's actually our producer.
Thanks, guys, for
That's
thanks,
our cue
guys,
to
for
leave,
coming.
man. Bye.
Shout out to Ahmed
Bye.
Musa, man.
Take care, guys.